Hi, Dr. Dolly. This is Russell from Connecticut. I've recently become more interested in investing in real estate through some of these more passive methods, such as syndications and crowdfunding. But I was wondering whether the rate of return that you might expect from these passive methods of investing might be lower than owning your own rental units, for example, and managing it yourself. I was thinking that if you put in the work yourself, you probably should expect a higher return overall over the long term. But on the other hand, crowdfunding and syndications might give you the advantages of scale and obviously professional management. So me being a busy professional, I would love to sort of over the long term just continue to invest in real estate through these passive methods, but I just didn't want to sort of sacrifice some amount of return if that seems to be the trend as compared to more active investing. And then also, if you compare syndications versus crowdfunding, I would think that the crowdfunding platforms would also want to take a cut out of these deals. But the numbers that I've sort of been seeing and the advertised rates of return doesn't really seem to vary in any consistent basis when you compare direct syndications versus the crowdfunding platforms. So I was just wondering if there were any consistent differences in the rates of return that you might expect depending on how you sort of invest in real estate. Of course, taking into account that most of what affects return would be, the specifics of the deal or the sponsor. So I hope that question was clear. Thank you again so much for giving us this opportunity to ask these questions here. And thank you for everything that you do.
All right, Russell. So let me make sure I understand here. You want to have your cake and eat it too. Is that right? You don't want to put any work in, but you still want the same returns. Well, I agree with you. That's probably unlikely. I think if done well, you're probably going to come out with better returns investing directly in real estate than if you are going to invest via a private real estate fund, private REIT, the Vanguard REIT Index Fund, syndications, whether bought directly or via a crowdfunding portal. I think you're probably going to come out ahead investing directly. But you could easily come out behind, right? Not only because you suck at investing, but also because it's entirely possible to just have bad luck, because it's very difficult to diversify when you're a direct real estate investor, right? You can only buy so many properties on a physician income. And so until you get to a level where you have a whole bunch of different properties in a whole bunch of different areas, which is hard to do again when you're direct investing, you've got some significant risk from lack of diversification. So yeah, I think the potential is there to earn more. But part of the reason why you get paid more for direct real estate investing is because it's not just your money you're putting into the project. You're also putting your time and effort and worry and hard work into that project. And so part of your compensation is pay for that, right? It's paying you for your time. It's got aspects of a second job, which you don't have when you go to a private real estate fund. You basically just send them a check. And so, if you want another way to earn some money, that is a way to earn some money. If you would rather concentrate on building your practice and working hard at that and just send your money to be invested, well, passive real estate investing is for you. And this is kind of a big dichotomy. And I don't think anybody has to get too far into this before they realize which road they prefer to go down. There are very few people that go down both roads. One of the few I know is Peter Kim over at Passive Income MD, right? He does both. He has some direct real estate investing and does lots of passive real estate investing. But I do almost entirely passive real estate investing. I say almost entirely. I have one syndication where I'm the manager of the syndication. So I guess that's not entirely passive. But, it's just my time is better off spent on White Coat Investor, or it's better off spent at my practice, or it's better off spent floating the Grand Canyon, quite honestly, than managing rental properties. And so I don't really do that. And I think that's fine. Now, are there some benefits there that maybe help more than you might think? Yeah, I think you benefit from having professional management, particularly as you get to these bigger properties, right? We're talking about a 200-door apartment complex. You're never going to be able to buy that yourself if you're like most docs. And so the only way you're going to get into that is by syndicating. And of course, you're going to use a professional manager to do that. And so if you want to invest in that asset class instead of just duplexes and single family homes, well, that's probably what it's going to take. And so keep that in mind. You also get to benefit from, not only the professional management and that diversification. So overall, I think it's entirely possible that passively you could end up with a better return, especially since half of direct real estate investors are less than average as far as their skills go. So if you're not particularly good at it, and I don't personally feel like I'm particularly good at direct real estate investing, particularly managing tenants is not my strong suit. I tend to be too nice to them. I guess it's the doctor in me coming out. But if you're not going to do a great job running it, then you're probably not going to be better off direct real estate investing. So you got to figure this out. Different strokes for different folks. Some people are definitely, they should be direct real estate investors. The rest of us, thankfully, there's plenty of passive real estate investments out there, and you shouldn't feel guilty like you're leaving something on the table by using them because you're getting significant benefits for those fees that you are paying. You're getting more diversification, you're getting, the expertise, and you're getting more, time back in your life. So you can just invest your money instead of investing your money and your time. If you want your questions answered by the White Coat Investor, record your question at whitecoatinvestor.com/YQA or click the link in the description.
My dad, your host, Dr. Dahl, is a practicing emergency physician, blogger, author, and podcaster. He is not a licensed accountant, attorney, or financial advisor, so this podcast is for your entertainment and information only and should not be considered official, personalized financial advice.